Immigrants are put to an extremely hard task when it comes to testing for their legal right to live in the United States with peace. Something needs to be done to put in place something needs to be put in place to reform how we grant access to our beloved country so others who want to better their lives can happily do so with much less stress and useless struggles that they go through now. Illegal immigration is a major problem in the United States and would be greatly decreased if laws were put into place to alter people's decisions, making it easier for them to become legal citizens rather than coming through the illegal route. With plenty of knowledge on immigration and many acquaintances being immigrants, I have a firm understanding of how to better immigration situation in America. By the end of this speech, I will have recommended a great set of new laws and new ways of thinking for immigrants to have a much easier time getting into the United States. I will begin by identifying the problem. Illegal immigration is a controversial topic that I believe seriously hurts Americans without Americans even realizing it. The biggest issue, in my opinion, is how hard it is to become a citizen in America. In the article, What Does It Mean to Be Civic Ready by Aaron Paul Jones, he talks about the difficulty of being a citizen and taking the citizenship test. And it states, it consists of 100 multiple choice history and government questions. Many immigrants in the United States do not consider English to be their first nor their primary language. With this being taken into consideration, the information on the exam is much more difficult to understand and prepare for. Starting with the test being difficult to learn, the time it takes to be able to take the test is absurd. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services states on their website, you will be retested on the portion of the test that you failed, between 60 and 90 days from the date of your initial interview. To compare this to another test in the United States, the driver's test is taken in the United States, or the way it's taken varies by state. From personal experience, I unfortunately did not pass my first attempt at my driver's test. The state of California stated I must wait 15 days before retaking this driving part of the test. Now multiply that number of days by 4, and one will see how long it takes immigrants to be considered just to retake their exam. The most time-consuming aspect of the concept of legal immigration would be the establishing residency. Daniel Crown and Alexandra Fagian talk about the tremendous length of residency in their article of naturalization and the productivity of foreign-born doctorates. They state, with some exceptions, applicants must have remained continuous residents as a permanent resident for 5 years in the United States and 3 months in the state that they file for their application. A 5-year residency is absolutely unnecessary. The problem with this is the aspect of gaining citizenship is it's unexplainable how much people can get done to better themselves within 5 years. There are many things that immigrants cannot do because they are not legal citizens yet. Certain jobs require one to be naturalized, with the process unnecessarily taking 5 years at the minimum. This further frustrates and complicates the lives of thousands upon thousands of immigrants we have trying to do the right thing and coming into the United States legally. What needs to be done is the process absolutely needs to become much more simple. With the process taking at least 5 years, this results in much less stress, not only for the immigrants who are clearly trying their hardest to get into the country. We need to implement new laws as soon as possible to make the changes necessary to fasten the pace of gaining citizenship. The slowness of the naturalization process causes people to not even want to attempt the proper way of becoming a citizen. Instead, these people will continue to come in illegally, causing the United States more and more problems. Changing the mandatory 5-year residency requirement to 1 year would quickly change the number of people accepting the proper way of becoming a citizen. A lot can happen in 5 years. Along with changing residency, we need to change the test. There's a verbal exam and a multiple choice 100 question exam that immigrants take to become citizens, and these take way too much time to study for. In a study done in my high school class, we had 32 students take the United States citizenship test, and only 6 of the students passed it. That means without any studying, many immigrants will absolutely not pass the exam. A law could easily be voted on to make the immigrants coming into America have a lesser number of questions correct to legally become citizens. Christina Byrnes talks about how many questions need to be correctly answered to pass the exam in her article, The Hardest Questions on a U.S. Citizenship Test. She states, a United States Citizenship and Immigration Services officer randomly selects 10 questions from a list of 100 and reads them in English to the would-be citizen, who must answer at least 6 correctly. This may not seem like a lot, but this is not multiple choice. This is the verbal portion of the exam. As stated previously, English is not many of these immigrants' first languages. If the test was slightly easier, they could pass the test and learn English as a legal American. With this being said, I want to introduce a new law stating that four of the 10 questions are only needed to be correct in order to pass the test. This will make it significantly easier for the immigrants to pass the test and be introduced to normal American life. Overall, legal immigration has so many benefits to people trying to come into this country. We need to urgently put laws into place, making it take much less time to come into the country. 5 years is simply put way too much time out of somebody's life to become a legal citizen. Also, the tests are ridiculously hard and unnecessary. Many high school students did not even come close to passing the exam, and they have lived in America their entire lives learning history. In the United States, we can vote to make a miraculous change to immigrants' lives by simply voting for laws that will in general better our country. This will bring in more people to the country legally and help stop the people causing trouble for our country by coming into it illegally. Illegal immigration will most likely occur in some way, shape, or form, but putting in these laws will guarantee more people becoming citizens at a much faster pace. All this put together, and as a country, we will be much happier and way better off. Thank you.